Let's have a look at the bracket. This is on one side. Quarterfinals are set. We've got Egypt against Ivory Coast and then Senegal against Mali for a spot in the semis. And then the other side of the draw, we've got the host Morocco against Cameroon and then Nigeria taking on Algeria, who got through in that one today. For more, let's chat to Mbizo Mzamane. And we are not going to mention what happened to South Africa, unfortunately, last week, are we, Mbizo? We'll talk more about Ivory Coast and a great performance from them.
Yeah, I think I'd rather talk about Les Elephants for sure. Listen, my bracket is still intact. I predicted that they would get through this match unscathed, although I confess that I expected Burkina Faso to put up a little bit more of a fight. They seemed to really let their heads down when the first goal went in. And yes, of course, Ivory Coast was going to dominate proceedings, but I expected the Burkinabe to kind of demonstrate their resilience, which they did not. Seemed like something of a walk in the park for me for Ivory Coast, although they really did up the level a little bit. But frankly, I still don't believe that they've come out of second or third gear, which for them, I think bodes extremely well. They might need those gears against the Pharaohs in their next match. But I had stated that I believe that the defending champions are one of the favorites. And I think that they've demonstrated that with their victory today.
Amad Diallo, let's go to him real quickly because he is the first Ivorian from my statistics right here to score a goal and deliver an assist in an AFCON knockout match since Yaya Toure did it in 2012. And Mbizo, this guy's playing some real good football right now, and he is an absolute superstar in African football.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys spoke about how he might have a new manager when he gets back, and hopefully this manager doesn't play him at right wing back, because he is one of the best attackers for me on the continent at this point in time. And he's just been absolutely spectacular. For me, probably the best performing player at AFCON. He's doing absolutely everything. And beyond the actual statistics, when you just watch the way he moves with the ball, the confidence with which he's just moving into the center of the park, he's going out wide, he's making these defense-splitting passes. He's just all over the place, and it's spectacular to see. I'm a huge fan of his football, and he's really delivering for his country right now. And surely, to be champion of this AFCON, you're going to need every contribution you can get.
And Mbizo, he's been brilliant so far in this competition, and we have seen quite a lot of those star players on the continent performing well at AFCON. You can talk about Osimhen, Lookman for Nigeria, Salah, Brahim Diaz as well. Would you say Diallo has performed better than all of those?
I think so. I mean, I think statistically there are other players that could match him, for example, Brahimi. But I believe that the quality of the competition that Ivory Coast has faced in a Burkina Faso, in a Cameroon, for example, and he's played the same way despite the opposition being comparable to the team. Whereas I think some of the other teams haven't really faced an enormous test, although they are all playing well. And it's a delight to see. I mean, it's a great advertisement for AFCON for all of these players to be playing at the level that they're playing at. But for me, I think Diallo stands head and shoulders above the rest on the basis of the opposition that he's faced and still being able to maintain the same level.
Ivory Coast are currently sitting at plus 850 to win this competition. When you have a superstar, as you're just referring to there, probably the most informed star at the competition right now, in form, and the team's playing well around him. I know there's a lot of young kids in this Ivory Coast side, but why would they play plus 850 as like fifth or sixth favourite? Is it because of their next opponents coming up? Tell me why they shouldn't win this.
Well, I mean, I think a lot has to do with media. They probably don't have as much media as some of the other teams, as much, the propaganda machine isn't as strong. And I think potentially people might believe that they're not as motivated having just won an AFCON, and probably the fact that it was at home, which gave them a huge boost. So people perhaps are underestimating their potential to come in and do some damage here. I think people are obviously rating Morocco a little bit higher. People look at Senegal's team sheet, which has players who are a little bit more experienced, and perhaps believe they can't quite compete with those teams. But for me, I think they do have a good balance of experience and young, talented players. I think maybe with no pressure on their shoulders, unlike they had at the last AFCON, they're flying high. And I think at this point in time, they would be disappointed if they lost. But I don't think the continent would be too shocked, for example, if they fell to an Egypt, which I don't think will happen. I believe that they're going to defeat the Egyptians. And then I think, unfortunately, it's against Senegal where they will fall, because for me, Senegal will be champions of this competition.
And Mbizo, in the other game we watched today, Algeria left it late and they snuck through against DR Congo. Do we know how good this Algeria team are? We've seen how good they can be defensively, and they are very good at the back. But how far could they potentially go?
It was evident to me that these guys are going to be contenders in that first round, in the group stages, and to the point where I've even said that I believe that they're going to defeat the Nigerians in the next round. I think they are superb. I think offensively they weren't as great as they would have wanted to be today, but as you spoke about it, their defensive solidity is so incredible, and they too have a lot of really talented young players, and similarly a good balance of experience in there. I think Mahrez, for me, is underestimated as among the best African players of all time. I think he's superb. It may be because he made his switch so late from the French nationality, but I think this team is well balanced. They fight hard, and frankly, they've borrowed a little something from the Argentine because they know how to use gamesmanship. They know how to put the referee under pressure and get the decision. So they really do know how to win. Of course, they are former champions not too long ago. So I think they are a force to be reckoned with. And if Nigeria wants to proceed, they're going to have to play their best football yet.
Mbizo, this morning, unfortunately, before I came to the studio, I paid a visit to my dentist. Dr. Bunu from Cameroon is my dentist, and she is outstanding. She is also married to a gentleman from the Ivory Coast, and there is a bit of a battle going on. But it made me realize that this competition is getting more media attention than I have ever seen before, not only in North America, but around the world. How happy are you with the media attention that this competition is getting? Is it because of the performances? Is it because of the stars that we're seeing on display, or just the quality of the games?
I think it's a number of different reasons. I think all of the ones that you've mentioned are all sort of working together. And I think the advent of the internet and in particular social media has just made it such that fans can interact, and the news about the teams and the banter and all the cultural components and elements can just come to the forefront, and we can discuss them. We can talk about them. And it's a delight for me. It's beautiful to see that AFCON is getting this kind of attention. I also think it's because the general quality of the football is rising. From the minnow to the giant, the quality of football is rising. The number of superstars that the African continent is producing, who are superstars in Europe, in America, some of them are even plying their trade in South America. I think it's really making people turn their attention. I think I saw Rio Ferdinand talk about how the quality of football in Europe drops during the AFCON. So that's the kind of monumental impact African players are having on the global game. And so people are paying attention to what's happening on the continent and to the competitions that produce these game-changing players, these world-class players. And for me, it's just, it's amazing to see.
Do you know, after sticking that needle in my gum, I actually hope that Cameroon get knocked out and the Ivory Coast are.
I was about to say, Mbizo, you've got Ian free dental care for the rest of his life there with that advert. Let's have a look at the quarter-final bracket. Which one of these games really jumps out at you in terms of entertainment?
In terms of entertainment, I really like that Mali-Senegal game. Both of these teams play a similar kind of football. They're all incredibly fit, athletic, but they have clever players who love to play with the ball, who don't shy away from receiving a pass under pressure. I really think, and I put Mali as my dark horse, not just in the last AFCON, but in this one as well. So I think quality-wise, that is probably slightly ahead of the rest, entertainment-wise. I think that's the game. But frankly, gents, there's no more small games. All those games you see there are going to be top quality. And I mentioned it before that to win this AFCON, you will have really deserved it. Because if you look at the brackets, it's really a gauntlet that you have to run. Some of the best teams on the continent at the moment, and some of the best teams ever. So, you know, it's a tough one, but that one for me is one that I cannot wait to see. I'm salivating at the mouth to see.